Tune into the broadcast. More practice and go time.
Good thinking. And now we are on board with PHG Redneck C137. For some reason, my brain just blanked on reading his name. I am sorry for that, Redneck. Driving around in a pink and white Sim Racers Against Cancer, I believe it is, livery. And as it is October, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Redneck C137 is a part of Team Papa's House of Game. Get used to hearing that. Driving on the Fanatec DD Pro, qualified 16th, and you can find him on YouTube at William Lyons, all one word. So, I'm gonna pose this question to production real quick. With the anti-cancer liveries, were those Sugar Shuffles that made those? I'm getting word from production that our very talented driver Sugar Shuffles did some moonlighting and created that stunning livery you see right there. Very nice to see, and it's always just fantastic to see our drivers, you know, showing support for causes, be it Mothers Against Drunk Driving, cancer awareness, whatever it may be. Now, Slow-Mo, are you the one cycling through the grid right now?
I am, yeah.
All right. Let me know if anything sticks out to you and want to know what you're seeing with your eyes, as we are on board with PHG Papa, who is the owner and proprietor of Team Papa's House of Games, 60-something strong and growing, driving on a Logitech G29, qualified 19th last week, and you can find him live on YouTube right now at Papa's House of Game, all one word. And looks like he's got his personal fastest lap as still a 116.3, but speaking of fastest lap, PHG Thumpy has set a 114.873. My goodness. And I also just noticed Papa does have front bumper and front left rear or wheel damage. That's definitely going to impact the lap, but I mean, it doesn't look like it's hindering him too much as we go on board with Stumpy, who's in a DHL livery. That's a classic. And oh no, Stumpy, get on the track. Okay, so Stumpy's a free agent in Rally Crossing on a controller, qualified 25th, and you can find him on YouTube at Stumpy GT. That was a coincidence. I didn't do it that time.
He also does lawn service for Goodwood there.
I guess, yes. Driver for DHL, driver for the NRL, and lawn mowing specialist. As we jump on board with PHG Fenrir Evil, setting currently a personal fastest lap of a 1:17.002. Not bad whatsoever. Definitely faster than I could do. And is actually on track for a new fastest lap, as he is a quarter of a second up on his personal best. So we will definitely see him and a 1:16 in the same photograph here in a moment. PHG Fenrir is part of Team Papa's House of Game, driving on a Fanatec DD Pro, qualified 27th, and you can find him on YouTube. I believe he's live right now at Viking_Wolf73. Oh, and actually a 1:16.5 was able to shave almost another full quarter second off of his time. Well done to you, Viking. That puts him from P12 up to P10, and we have PHG Skellington going around for the final time in this qualifying session. Current fastest lap for PHG Skellington is a 1:16.543. He's only 8 thousandths behind Stumpy, so there is definitely an opportunity to do an upset and gain a position or two. PHG Skellington is also a part of Team Papa's House of Game.
While they're qualifying, we'll take a look at this. This is the strategy map. Soft, no fuel save, just sending it. Soft with fuel saving, and then hard fuel saving. This is the no stopper. You can see no pit time with some fuel saving, save about 12 seconds. When you only lose, he only loses about 8 seconds. So this is a 4-second advantage you get here from doing some fuel saving. So I think this is the strategy I'm going to go with. The goal is to get behind someone fast and just sit in the slip and try to save as much fuel as possible. Then when I go into the pits, I'm going to fuel up, so that way I can do an actual burner on the last stint, no fuel saving. So that's the results of practice. We'll go back to this.
2016 with a personal fastest lap of 1:14.873. coming in behind by only 0.05 of a second, folks. That's almost completely side by side. Will be Racer 51 with a personal fastest lap of 114.928, followed by Rowdy Rooster in P3 with a 115.194, rounding out our top three for the starting grid, followed by PhD Salamander MN, Sugar Shuffles, PhD Bells, PhD Redneck C137, Deputy Fishtail. Going on down into P9, we have PhD Papa, Stumpy, PhD Fenrir Evil, and PhD Skellington. All in all, great times. Nobody over a 116. That was really good to see. I think we're going to be seeing some really close racing, especially when those pit stops come in. Oh boy, it's going to be a sight to behold. Isn't that right, Leo?
Yeah, man. It's there's going to be some excellent close racing. Hopefully, these guys have been practicing this, and passing's going to be tricky. Personally, if I was out there, I'd be waiting for everybody to make that pit stop and maybe either going for the undercut or overcut. One of the two, because I do not like passing on this track.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it either. I mean, if it was like the older machinery or something like that where the cars are a little more narrow, that's one thing, but I don't know. What about you, Slow-Mo?
For me, my strategy on this track is going to be to stay close to the guy in front of me and wait for him to make a mistake and try and capitalize on that. And take the spot away from him, move up that way. I personally wouldn't be pushing too hard, trying to make sure, hey, that I'm in it in the end of the race. So I think keeping the tires on the pavement here is going to be of utmost importance for these guys.
Couldn't agree more. And we did see quite a bit of understeer. So will that be a sign of things to come? I don't know, but all I know is some drama. There might be some shenanigans. We won't know, but let's go and figure it out now as they are lined up on the grid. Grid start, false start check, just waiting for those lights to go on and off, holding that handbrake for dear life to make sure they don't get a penalty. The lights are on. Round 1 of the NRL Season 4 is underway, and they are off. We have PhD Thumpy leading the conga line right now. It looks like Racer 51 getting right behind him to get a little bit of that slipstream action. This is going to be very interesting, especially when they come into the first braking zone. And we've got just everybody almost nose to tail. Oh, we already have some side-by-side action. Racer 51 goes for an overtake and makes it stick on Thumpy. Well done. That is very good to see, and looks like Thumpy short shifting or dropping down in fifth and almost understeering off. Ooh. Oh, look at a little dicey.
Man.
Oh, good. Okay, Thumpy gets around it just fine. Oh, and those tires.
Somebody's off.
Oh wait, so who went off?
Went off into the grass. He was in number 7 position, but he's dropped down to 12 now.
Deputy Fishtail just went off into P12. You said?
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's see if we can get a replay of that. So what happened here? W Fishtail too wide. Get a little on the curb. Didn't look like any contact, and just understeered off into the realms. That happened to me constantly. Nothing wrong with that, Deputy Fishtail. Oh my goodness! That right, Deputy Fishtail was. Oh.
He was a passenger at that point in time.
He was a passenger. I don't know about that one. That's definitely going to be up to the stewards, but yeah, he was a passenger at that point. Back on board with Rowdy Rooster, who is right on Salamander's chuff at the moment, gaining on him with that slipstream, and too wide coming into a braking zone. Okay, let's slow down, boys. Okay, Rowdy Rooster backs out of that to avoid any certain disaster, thank goodness. And what do we got Rowdy at right now? Rowdy is just under 3 seconds ahead of Sugar Shuffles, about a quarter second behind Salamander. So all in all, it's already some pretty close racing. And as those tires start to go, as that fuel starts actually... Hold on, Leo, when you were practicing, were you able to make one full tank last the entire race?
That is correct. I was able to make a full fuel tank last the entire race. That does make the car even more slippery, though, so you have to be extra cautious on your braking.
Okay,
Yeah, Toon, one thing I noticed, Fenrir and Deputy Fishtail both went in and went ahead to the pits, and I'm assuming had their damage repaired. So they've already gotten the pit stop out of the way.
All right, I'm glad they went and got that taken care of before any further damage could be sustained. As we jump on board with PHG Bells, who was a part of Team Papa's House again, driving on the Fanatec GT Pro and qualified 23rd last week. Currently about half a second behind Redneck C137 and just over half a second ahead of Papa. So it looks like nobody's really got any room to breathe at the moment. So this is going to get even dicier if they all maintain slipstream range for I don't know how many more laps. But I believe that slipstream should help on overall fuel consumption, shouldn't it, Slomo?
Yeah, it absolutely will. I mean, as you're getting pulled by the guy in front of you, that definitely helps your fuel, not his. So the guy in the front might suffer a little bit from that here and there.
Alrighty. So all in all, that slipstream could be extremely beneficial in not only gaining positions, but maybe also keeping yourself out of the pits. But this is racing, anything can happen, so we might see it happen, we might see the absolute opposite of it. And all my time doing commentary for this, I've learned to not make any concrete predictions, but just take a look at the amount of cars trailing Sugar Shuffles at the moment. You got Redneck in tow, Bells, Papa, yeah. It is, it's like a PhD shark attack behind Sugar Shuffles. Wouldn't you agree, Leo?
I definitely do. I mean, you got Redneck, you got Papa, Bells, all of them really good guys, and we've raced out everybody, and there's no denying it. They're quick.
That they are, and it would appear Sugar Shuffles has his hazards on for some reason. Don't know why, but Sugar Shuffles, your hazards are on. You might want to take care of that.
Yeah, and Tim, we've got...
Oh, go ahead.
We've got Dumpy and Racer 51 who are in the lead, and Sal's in third, and I mean, that gap from Racer 51 to Sal seems to be growing just a little bit, ever so slightly. And then you got Rooster. I mean, he's just right on Sal. Actually, it looks like he might be getting ready to make a pass here soon. And he's going to the inside into turn one on Sal. Rooster and Sal are door to door. Ooh, there we go. There's a good view of it. Look at this.
Oh my goodness.
Looks
this
like
is
Rooster's going to get it done, but Sal's got the momentum.
That was very well done.
Opens the door.
Yep. Excellent driving from both of them. No damage, no drama. That was just absolutely terrific to see. Looks like, yeah, that gap between Rowdy Rooster and Sugar Shuffles, actually, it looks like it might slowly be dropping. I don't know if the battling is slowing them down or if Sugar Shuffles is just getting some more momentum. But also looks like PHG Bells overtook Redneck C137, judging by the sideboard. So, well done on that overtake to you, Bells. Take a look at... Actually, it would appear Salamander... Nope, Salamander is not pulling away at the moment. Looks like that slipstream is keeping Rowdy right up his tail. Ooh,
we got contact back with Redneck and Bells. Redneck in 7th position. Just had contact with Bells.
Let's go and see if we can get a look at that.
Redneck's in 9th position now. Let's see, where'd Bells go?
All right, so here we are on board with Redneck C137 and Bell's PHG teammates. Looks like tries to go for a run on the outside, loses the tail end a little bit, and just veers off into the wall.
I think Bell's got into him a little bit, yeah.
He got into him, but he was braking excessively hard while turning the wheel, which will cause this car to spin, as we just saw.
Yep. But the silver lining is there was no damage sustained, so it's easier to dust yourself off and get back into it. But it looks like it has caused Redneck to fall into the line of sight of PHG Skellington. So Skellington might have a good opportunity to make up a place and take P9 off of Redneck should any more unfortunate mishaps happen. But all in all, we're only 6 laps in. We're just over a fifth of the way through this. Pit stops haven't even started rolling through, and we've had quite a bit of action already. We are definitely starting the season off strong. Everybody is vying for those championship points to be determined at the end of round 3 oh, it looks like Rowdy Rooster and Salamander are working together. A little bit of bump draft. But yeah, it looks like everybody's trying to get as many championship points as possible, make their way up to the finals after round 3, because those points are calculated across both Friday and Saturday, and have a shot to not only be the NRL's champion for season 4 in their respective division, but also get themselves a piece of a sweet, sweet cash prize, which is funded 100% by all of you watching at home and the dedicated members of the McNaughty Gaming channel. So super chat, super stickers, channel memberships, I believe, still count. Swiss bank account transfers, anything and everything. I'm also getting word from production that channel memberships do not count. My apologies on that one. But all of that counts to go into the prize pool to be divvied up between our drivers at the end. And honestly, it causes them to drive a little harder for some reason. Don't know why. But as we near the end of lap 7, going, oh, Salamander goes off rally crossing. Oh my goodness! Oh, contact from Rooster and Sal. Oh, jeez. Do we even need a replay to see what happened in PSG Bell 6 P4?
Sal's got front rear damage. Yeah, both front axles. Oh, golly,
okay,
that was rough.
What went wrong here? Let's take a look. So Salamander's coming into the chicane.
He runs wide.
The grass takes fall right, left.
Right
in front of Rooster.
Yeah, it looked like Rooster tried to take avoiding action, but they were both passengers at that point. There was nowhere for Rowdy to go. If I'm Salamander, I guess I better start thinking about when I'm gonna go into the box. That is unfortunate to see. Now,
even after being in an incident, Bells is just climbing right up the ranks. He's in 4th place. Sorry, I know we're on board with Papa here.
Oh no, you're good. That is definitely very important to note. Bells has been just gaining places left and right, and what's interesting here is Papa's got 3 positions right in front of him, right for the taking. Salamander with the damage will be yielding to the faster cars. Great show of sportsmanship and professionalism from Salamander, of course. So that'll project Papa up into 7th, RJ up into 6th, and Stumpy into 5th. And I believe we saw somebody go into the pits. And it was Rowdy Rooster going and repairing some damage. It looks like Salamander is also going. So looks like we've got Papa giving Sugar Shuffles a bit of a bump draft. All's fair in love and racing, right?
Oh no.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, I don't know about that.
Where's he going? Oh, he got reset. Crap. Let's take a look at what happened there. As we see, Sugar Shuffle tried to save it as best he could, and my lord, this is...
That back left tire caught the grass, and that's what turned him into the other field over there. He was coming too wide into turn 1, too much speed.
That was heartbreaking to see, but it is definitely very easy to a very easy thing to have happen in this circuit, because as you see, there's really not any Armco to stop you. So and Racer 51's in the grass, but is able to save it. And oh my lord, look at Racer 51's tires. They are being shredded right now. Lap 10 of 25, not even at the halfway mark. How much longer can he run on those tires before thinking about going into the pits, Leo?
If I was Racer 51, I would be going around lap 13. That's when I saw most of these guys going in. If you're nice to your tires and whatnot, you can actually probably make it to about lap 15.
Oh, and it looks like Papa has jumped all the way up into P4. Well done, Papa. Now, I know Papa was having a bit of a rough time getting the hang of the track and the car combination, but with how he's driving right now, it looks like everything is clicking. He does have a 1.1 second gap between himself and Redneck, and he's also got about a 9-second gap between himself and Bells, so he's definitely got some breathing room here, so he can kind of just get comfortable and figure out, you know, where the groove is before having to go in and, you know, box for a fresh set of rubber. Papa coming in around the penultimate or final corner. I don't know how to count that chicane, but coming in nice and neatly. Slight nudge on the wall. That happened to me way more times than I care to count. But looks like got through it with really no harm done. But I do see Redneck about second and a half behind him, so just outside slipstream range. But we know how Redneck is, Leo. He is a quick drive. Oh my goodness, where'd that speed come from?
Yeah, look at that.
That is nailing that corner correctly. You can carry so much speed through there that can catapult you pretty much through anything.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, that was an ungodly amount of speed that we just saw Redneck carry.
I think
looks like
Papa's coming to give him an answer.
I would sure hope so. I mean, even a P4 would be a great way to start off the season. But it looks like Skellington's also getting ready to throw his hat into the ring as he is just inching closer and closer to Papa. But it looks like we've got PH. Is it PSG 1 through 6?
2. Well, hold on. So Racer 51. I don't know.
I'm getting word about impartiality. It was just an observation, no bias. And see Papa coming through the chicane. He drove through that like crazy. I would not have had the confidence to do that. What about you, Leo?
I've done it once or twice, and it scares me every time. Them walls on that chicane come up really close, and if you're an inch or two to one side or the other, you're smacking one of them.
Yeah, and as we saw, like, you can tap the second part of the chicane coming out of it, but you got to be careful because not only will it slow you down, but there is a chance you could sustain damage. And as we see Rowdy Rooster gaining on Skellington, looks like lost a little bit of speed jumping onto that curb in that previous corner, but looks like it's not going to hinder him too much as Rowdy is just gunning it. Oh, will we see too wide coming to the next corner? God, I hope not. Rowdy is using all of the slipstream possible as Stumpy and Racer 51 go into the pits about halfway through the race, so looks like they might be able to make that fuel tanks last. So it might just be a fresh set of rubbers, and out they go. And Rowdy sends it up the inside and makes it stick to take P6 for the time being. But will Skellington have an answer? Let's find out now. Coming through the chicane, Skellington is keeping all fours on the stick or on the tarmac and going into the box. Well, with Bells and Papa, so that will allow Redneck and Rowdy to take P3 and 4 respectively. And it would also appear Thumpy and Racer 51 were both able to afford themselves essentially a free pit stop.
Yeah, they had almost a 9-second gap between Racer 51 and the next person behind them, so they were able to get in and get out the pits pretty quick and efficiently there and still maintain that 1-2 spot.
Well, that also goes to show this pit stop is not long enough. If you're just going in for a fresh set of tires, alright, I did not know it was that short. The more you know, folks. Now, so just like the grid, we have a heated exchange going on right now.
Honestly, I've been riding along with Racer 51. That's who we're watching right now. Stumpy's making a little bit of a move up the back right now. He just put a pass on Fenrir and coming down to the back straight. He's going to make a run at a couple other cars with Papa and Skellington up in front of him. But honestly, I was watching the front two guys, man. They're just putting on a clinic out here. They're really hitting every apex. Just doing it.
Ooh, and Skellington cuts, well, I guess cutting the corner is a bit of an understatement there, but it looks like he was able to save it and not make a track on his square. As we jump on over with Fenrir, who is going into the box, those tires definitely looking much to wear. Moving on over to the DHL driver in Stumpy, who is currently about 7.5 behind PSG Skellington, and looks like pretty good tires. somewhat be mindful of how you treat those tires. Am I right, Leon?
Yeah, too. It's more important now than ever to conserve tires, essentially not overworking them, getting it too hot. These guys are probably going to end up pushing it now just to make it to the end. At least that's what I will be doing. They're miles ahead of everybody. 8-second gap I see. Racer 51's going to try to be as smooth and as thoughtful of this process to make them tires last.
Alright, yeah, looking at the... Oh, sorry, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, Leo, I was going to say to that same point, we saw Redneck push his tires to lap 14, and as he was coming around a couple of his last turns, almost drifting it, just, you know, he could do a lot of couple people by him, couldn't maintain control of the car after they got so worn out. So that's a great point. You know, you want to do that to maintain and W those tires. This could shape up to be an exciting change of position type race when it comes down to the last couple of laps.
Pretty much been a knockdown, drag-out fight between all the drivers trying to make as many positions as possible, and it's great to see how the crew do too. Yes, there have been some incidents, but I mean, all of them, in my professional opinion, they've only passengers. But then again, I'm not Stewart, I'm a talking guy in a box, so what do you know? Also jump back with Racer 51, who is trying to gain on Thumpy at the moment. Could you tell me what ballpark Thumpy is aiming for right now with his lap times? Because it looks like Racer 51 is doing about 15 to 14 to 16 here and there, but although it looks pretty consistent over here. Boy, Racer 51 gets 2 wheels on the grass, but he's able to maintain control of the car. Great job.
Yeah, Jim, for Thumpy, it looks like he's pretty consistent on good tires. He's in that 15-16 range. You have a couple 117s that are floating out there. Maybe that is tires, traffic, it's hard to say what caused that, but he's been pretty consistent ever since his last tire change, and he's starting to, it looks like he's really in his groove now, so they're just trying to close out these last few laps, but they got a little bit of driving left to do, and he's trying to do it nice and smooth.
It definitely shows, and honestly, it looks like these two are kind of just having the time of their life. They've been playing a little game of cat and mouse, and at the same time, not slowing each other down, as Racer 51 is a staggering 11 seconds ahead of Rowdy Rooster at the moment. P3, once again, is 11 seconds behind with balance of P1. These two are dancing around this track right now, and it is just mesmerizing. Right, Leo?
Yeah, too. It definitely is. These two guys are pretty much making it look like a ballet. They're just hitting every apex that they know that they can. Not getting too aggressive for what it looks like. They're just doing everything that they're supposed to do. Keeping everything calm. Doing as fast as smooth kind of thing.
Yeah, and the gap is just increasing between P2 and 3, and yet they are not slowing each other down whatsoever. Racer 51 just set a 1:15.2. These two must have put in a godly amount of practice, and also goes purple by 700 of a second. So we might see new fast flag as well. That's completely drifts around those actually last two set of corners. My God! And it looks like that gap between Racer 51 and Thumpy is now to just about half a second. Yeah, no, they're going to catch up to each other, and it's going to, I definitely suspect some two-wide racing in the next 3 laps. If not, I would be shocked and a little saddened not to see it. Well, it looks like it did cost this one a little bit, but let's jump back on board with Redneck C117 as he is currently 3.1 seconds behind Honda, and of a second, and neither of these guys are going to quit until that checkered flag goes off. And again, this is racing. Anything can happen, anything will happen, and I just hope we can get a good look at whatever might happen. Coming up for the 19th time basket. Oh, yes, sir?
I was going to say earlier, when we were talking about these guys going at it, I'm thinking what Bumpy's doing is actually taking it a little slower to conserve the tires, while Racer 51 is pushing it to catch up to it.
What do you mean taking it slower? Do you not see how fast Bumpy is dancing around this track right now? Like, I get it, Racer 51 does have the fastest lap by now, the 114.855. Like, I get that. That point is not lost on me. But these two are literally just pulling away from the pack, so please make your case.
Okay. So essentially what Bumpy's doing is concentrating what he needs to do, being as smooth as possible. Yes, his lap times are not super quick like Racer 51's, but he's also not pushing the car as hard as Racer 51 is.
It looks like Racer 51 pushed a little too hard. Racer 51 just lost a good amount of time to Thumpy. It went from 3/4 of a second to a second and a half, and Thumpy just went through. So we might see a new personal best from Thumpy as he comes from the chicane. Making a nice right then a left, and we are on to the start finish straight. In the ground, pick up another line. Actually, 3/100 of a second down. But that gap between Thumpy and Racer 51 is now to 2 seconds, so the T1 for Racer 51 might be slowly going out the door. But what's not going out the door is Skellington's sights on P6, as he is just over, now under, a quarter of a second behind Papa. So definitely well within slipstream range, and gonna have to play a very meticulous game. Into the chicane, will be able to get forward unscathed. He will. Papa runs a little bit wide, but he gets it back on the circuit. Well done. That is definitely not the line I want to take, but the fact that these drivers can make the most of it and still make it around these corners, even with dirty tires, is I think a testament to their skill. But it looks like Skellington is smelling blood in the water. He is going to go side by side with Papa. Will he be able to make the pass after this corner? And it looks like he is. Oh, we're getting ready to push a hard braking zone. Nope. Skellington backs out and chooses to fight another day. Very well done. Very, very smart, if I'm honest. As they both drift around the corner. Where will Skellington attempt to make an overtake? Trying to take the inside. Papa shuts the door and uses all the track available to him to start slowly pulling away. We might have a very good battle for P6 on our hands here, folks. What will Skellington do in response? Leo, what would you do if you had something like this going on?
What I would do, honestly, I'd be trying to trail him as much as possible. Wait for that opportunity, either in the chicane, as Jack picks up a half-second penalty. Tough break.
I think that's the first half-second penalty we've seen this race, is it not?
Yes.
I think it is.
All right, jumping on board with Sugar Shuffles, and currently about 4 seconds behind Skellington and Papa in their battle for P6, and about a second and a quarter ahead of Stumpy. So a little bit of room to breathe, but definitely can't rest on any laurels yet, as we have 3 laps left of this race, and it's anybody's game. I know what that time says, but yeah, it's literally anybody's game. And Slow-Mo, as we near the tail end of this, how's it looking on your end?
You know, I've been watching Thumpy and Racer 51 here. The gap between those two is about a second and a half. You know, Racer 51 is while he's pushing that car, looking at the replay we got here.
Oh, and
I think that's Fender area, yeah, just into the grass and then into the other side, into the wall. That's damage. Bad time to have an issue there.
Yeah, very much agree with you there, Slow-Mo. And moving on back up the grid to the heated battle for the race win, and Rowdy Rooster is off in the grass. What happened there? Let's take a look. Coming up into turn 1, those tires are absolutely cooked. Looks like a little bit of mid-engine shift getting onto the grass, and yeah, looks like Mother Nature decided to turn Rowdy Rooster into a ballerina with some pirouettes. That's unfortunate. Everything is starting to unravel, it seems.
Yeah, and Tune, if we can look at Racer 51, you know, I'm looking at him and Thumpy's fuel level. I think they can make it, but boy, I think it's going to be close. You think we could see somebody run out of fuel at the finish line again?
So that would be heartbreaking to see, but those two also have enough of a gap on P3 to where I don't think it would hinder him as much, as we see Thumpy overtake PSG Fenrir Evil, who had an unfortunate spill in the last lap. We are now on the penultimate lap, and yeah, these two are definitely Thumpy. Oh, that would have been devastating to see. Okay, glad he was able to maintain it on the track, but Thumpy did lose a little bit of that lead he had, so that gap is now only 1.3 seconds. Oh, and it's a and looking at the tire wear, that's got to be playing a huge factor.
I think Thumpy's got the tire advantage on Racer 51 right now. It looks like Racer 51s are just a little bit more worn, and maybe like Leo said, because we saw him pushing so hard and sliding that car out as much as he was, but it's kept him in the race. I mean, he's second and a half back from the leader as we're coming onto our last lap.
Yeah, making our way to the final lap. Yeah, Thumpy was playing the long game on this one from how it looks. Was able to force Racer 51 to push the car even further, so I don't know if it's luck, high racing intelligence, or what it might be, but whatever it was, it paid off for Thumpy in just miles and miles of open track. So yeah, at this rate, as long as they can keep business as usual. Oh, hold on. What have we got going on here? Deputy Fishtail and Rowdy Rooster doing a little bit of side-by-side action as we go to the rather cool helicopter here. And making our way back up to the front of the grid to bring this race to a close, at least for the battle for P1. Looks like Thumpy is going to hold on to it for the time being, at least, with a 2-second gap over Racer 51 and just bringing it around, almost getting onto the grass, which would have been devastating to see. Keeps it on the black stuff and coming up to the start-finish line to go and take the race victory for Round 1, Division B of the NRL, and Racer 51 does some pirouettes across the line in NRL fashion. PSG Bells will take that last podium spot, it seems, and for some reason there's a yellow from Racer 51 this game. Making our way over, we have Redneck C1 has second gap over Skellington at the moment. And it looks like Skellington was able to make that overtake stick, and also looks like was able to overtake Sugar Shuffles. So coming across the line for P4 will be Redneck C137. As we see Skellington coming across the line, 2.5 second gap, give or take, from Sugar Shuffles. And speaking of Sugar Shuffles, coming across the line right there. Papa coming home in P7 and was able to hold off Salamander, who will take P8. We wait for Deputy Fishtail to come across the line. Very well done indeed. And now we just go and take a look at Stumpy.
Stumpy is, his tires are done, buddy. Oh, man.
I wonder what happened there.
He's had some challenges here on that last lap, and they've been really slippery. He was sliding all over the place. He lost 2 or 3 spots in that last lap alone.
Oh my goodness, that is unfortunate.
Congratulations, too.
Yes, congratulations. Well done, pole position and a clean race. Now let's go and take a look at the provisional classified results. So, taking the race win will be PHG Thumpy 2016, who came in with a total race time of 31 minutes and 53 seconds, .518. 2 seconds ahead of Racer 51, who he had an insane bout with. But Racer 51 will get a bonus point for holding the fastest lap. Rounding out our podium will be PHG Bells, followed by PHG Redneck C137, PHG Skellington rounding out our top 5, followed by Sugar Shuffle, PHG
here. I'm just gonna wipe the lens quick. Try to wipe the lens quick. What a race.
Thing under the sun happened, and when you think nothing else could catch you by surprise,
I definitely surprised by that finish. I saw them getting into it, and I was like, oh no. I've personally been on that end of going on the outside like that, and it just careening you into the wall. Y'all gotta stop giving me anxiety, is all I'm gonna say.
Oh, believe me, I'm feeling it too, Mr. Krabs, but let's get on with our interview. So we're going to start off with our P3 recipient and Chief Apollo 11. Chief, how are you feeling right now?
Well, I'm feeling pretty good. Sweaty. Haven't got a chance to see what happened there at the end, but it looked like some chaos ensued. I know I came in there and absolutely T-bowed with. Thought I was going to finish P4 and ended up on the podium, so I'll take it.
I got you. So, my question for you is, with what you just witnessed in this race, how are you feeling about this season of the NRL?
I feel good. I know it's super competitive. Obviously, you see some of the times these guys are putting down. It's pretty much alien-like. Shout out to True Serum. He made the no-stopper work. I saw him trailing me early on. I knew he was probably on the hards, sitting in the slip. And then when I pit, he stayed out. I knew what he was up to. So congrats to him. That's difficult to pull off, especially at the race day. So congrats to him. And congrats to Lacabra. I pretty much followed him the whole race. He ran a good race. He got about a 4 or 5 second lead right out of the gate, and pretty much kept that the whole race. And I was hoping he was burning fuel. Turned out he wasn't. We had just about the same out
congrats to him.
Glad to hear it. Slomo, any questions for our third place recipient?
Yeah, Chief, I mean, congratulations on the podium. I think that's a great example of just making sure to, kind of run your race and let it finish the way it did. We didn't necessarily see you, T-Bone, win there at the end. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of coming around the last turn and, how that played out in front of you?
Yeah, well, I was kind of just taking it easy there for the Yanks. I knew there wasn't anyone close behind me. I just kind of wanted to finish the race and was kind of dozing off on that last turn, just thinking about, okay, P4 didn't get the podium, blah, blah, blah. Next thing I know, out of the right of the screen comes this car just flying and hammers me. Luckily, I was able to keep it straight and didn't spin out. I was able to get across the line, but I'm not sure. I'm excited to see the replay. I'm curious to see what happened there.
Yeah, a well executed plan. I don't know that there was anything you could have done with the chaos that we saw from our perspective. So, congratulations on that first podium of the season here. Leo, what do you have for Chief?
Thank you.
Hey, Chief. Great job, man.
Thank you.
I guess my question would be, was the idea of maybe doing a no-stopper in your brain, or was it always going to be a one-stop race for you?
During practice, I did the softs wide open, and you just burn a lot of fuel. And at 3 liters per second in the pits, you just spend a lot of time in the pits. So I went to the hards for the no stopper, and my pace was about 3 seconds off my soft pace whenever I was doing short shifting and fuel saving with the soft. So it was a little bit off pace for me. I see that True Serum made it work. One thing that's hard to do when you're practicing is figuring out how slipstream plays into that and how much fuel that kind of affects you during the race. Maybe that was the ticket to make up those extra seconds, was getting the slipstream, save as much fuel as possible, and then kind of just find the pace on the hards. But the hards weren't too bad once they got temp in them. You could get a decent pace. It was just trying to make sure that you had enough fuel to go all 16. I was running fuel map 2 with some short shifting, and that just really ruined my pace. So I decided to go soft and try to save fuel where possible, to save time in the pits, and it worked out.
Yeah, very well done indeed. Congratulations on a P3, and we can't wait to see what you got in round 2. Chief Apollo, thank you so much for your time, and we'll get at you later.
Yep,
Have a good night.
Thank you guys. Take care.
Yeah, well done, Chief.
All right, making our way up the grid, we're going to go and have a word with S7R to True Serum. Truth, how are you feeling after that chaotic end of the race?
Horrible. That's like the last thing you want to have happen. That was awful. I'll take full responsibility for that one. But the problem that I ran into was, like, I no stopped the softs, and that was fine because I was able to do them. But I knew my tires, in some practices my tires wouldn't die, and some they did. So this one they did, and they died, I think, on the last 2 corners. So I had it on the outside, and when I went to turn, I guess maybe I was a little bit too fast. I just couldn't turn at all, and he was on the outside, and he was there. So then I tried to slow down to let him pass because I didn't want to win the race like that. But then I didn't see him coming. I guess something else happened to him. So then Le Cabra went through, and I just coasted to the finish. What a I don't know, just puts just kind of mars the whole thing. But my apologies to Whit. But Whit's actually a friend of our team. We practice with him all the time. So it makes it particularly awful. Like, I would never do that to somebody on purpose. I just no tires left in last corner. So
I understand that feeling completely. So my question for you is, how did you make those soft tires last 16 laps?
So basically, I mean, I have a real keen interest in tire preservation. It's like one of the things that I kind of get into with the game. It's just, but to make a long story short, it's not one thing, but it's everything together. So making sure that you don't damage your tires when they're coming up to speed. So go easy early, and then minimal steering angle, lifting and coasting. It's like a whole bunch of things to prevent sudden weight shifts and things. and it all adds up to your tires lasting longer, makes a significant difference. But the trick is to find pace while doing that, right? So I almost pulled it off. Win ran a great race. He ran the one stop and just decided to go really fast, and it would have been awesome. I wish that wouldn't have happened because I wanted to see what was going to happen. I'm pretty sure he would have got me on the outside. So.
All right, I got you. Slow, any questions?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm a strategy guy. I love the strategy. I love to see a couple of them compete with each other. And, you know, what a great example that yours and his came down to really the last turn there. You know, it's really impressive to see you maintain those tires through the race. Just an unfortunate way that it ended, but that is racing sometimes. Tell us a little bit about early on in the race, you know, as you were executing some of those things you talked about to save those tire pressures. Did you ever at any point kind of get worried, like, I'm not keeping up, or, you know, I'm not competing the way I wanted to? Did you ever consider pushing it harder and maybe switching strategies throughout the race? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, cut you out.
We can hear you. Oh. We can hear you if you can hear us. You hear me now? Yes,
Yep.
sir. I mean, you might be having connection issues.
Well, unfortunately, we've lost the truce here for the time being. So if he joins back in, we will get back to interviewing him. But let's move on to our race, Victor and Lacabra 809. Lacabra, you are a familiar face in this booth. How are you feeling after that one?